Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Stock Market Sensei channel. Today I would like to be looking at some of the upcoming earnings releases coming up. I know it's earnings season's back in full effect, and I was going to give a little insight on a couple things that I'm interested in for this coming week, and it is, for me personally at least, a pretty big week in terms of stocks I'm interested in to see how they're doing. So to start off, let's look at, naturally you can see under Monday there, after hours, we have Alphabet or Google, which obviously one of the largest companies out there. You're going to be interested in how their earnings are going to go. I personally naturally see positive things coming from them yet again as they continue to dominate. I think that'll be an interesting one to see, and I think it'll be helpful to the market as a whole, actually. If they outperform what they're expected to do, I believe Google is one of those stocks that can absolutely carry the whole market, or at least the NASDAQ. Help bring that up so that way every other thing is also doing well. So that's something I'm really interested in to see what kind of an impact that might have, and hopefully it's a positive one. It should be. Going into Tuesday, we got a couple big ones here. One I'm particularly interested in is Coca-Cola. Naturally, one of Warren Buffett's biggest positions now. He's really been high on the Coca-Cola game. So that's something I personally am also involved in. So it'll be interesting to see how Coca-Cola does. I know they've been trying to increase their organic revenues, which they did last quarter pretty positively, somewhere around 6%. So I'd like to see that increase. I'd like to naturally see overall revenue increase and their EPS increase. With that, I'm okay with their consistent dividend right now. So if they don't announce anything significant, or if they keep it in line, I'll be plenty fine with that. No complaints there. But I certainly think I would like to see that organic revenue increase, just due to the fact that's probably part of their way going forward, is that's kind of where we're moving as a country, and as a nation, we're kind of moving to more organic. So I'd like to see their healthier options possibly be a little bit more, shine a little bit more in this earnings as that increases, as well as hopefully just their normal products just stay consistent. That's what I can hope for, at least. I mean, it'd be better if they would increase, but Coca-Cola's been pretty stagnant. It's more of a long-term hold for the dividend kind of company that's not going around, so they're not leaving. So that's why I'm interested in Coca-Cola. We've also got 3M. Personally, it's a stock I could be interested in getting into. I'll see how the earnings go. I haven't looked too much into it, but if there was a drop-off, it's something I might look to get into. Another one, Tuesday, after market, we have Wynn Resorts. Definitely going to be interesting to see after Steve Wynn has stepped down, their CEO has stepped down. It'll be interesting to see how this earnings report goes. I do have a couple blanket ETFs that do contain Wynn Resorts in them. So it's not like they're a huge portion of it. Naturally, with ETFs, they don't normally take up a huge position in one particular stock, but it'll still have an impact. I'm interested to see how exactly in this first quarter that the new CEO is in there, how exactly things are performing and what kind of changes we might expect. They'll be announcing that as far as guidance, stuff like that. I'd like to see how that goes, honestly. So we'll see. Texas Instrument, yet another big company. Definitely a great long-term hold there. So we'll see how that goes. iRobot, definitely a good one. One of the consistent holdings in any of those, any ETFs that are kind of like automation, robots. There's a couple of them like Robo and Bots, a couple ETFs that have positions in iRobot. That'll be good to see. On to Wednesday, naturally, we have Boeing, which is a giant company. I think positive things are coming from them, but if not, Boeing would be a great buying opportunity if they drop on some bad news or bad guidance. Absolutely, I'm going into Boeing. There's no doubt about it. Onward, let's go to Aftermarket Wednesday. And you see that first name on there? And you want to know what? That's exciting. Facebook. I'm very excited about Facebook's earnings. I can't tell you how I think they're going to go. I've heard very conflicting things, and even Zuckerberg saying that potentially revenue might be hit pretty hard in this first quarter, just due to this whole scandal and possibly some pulling back from advertisers. So I think it might be a negative earnings report, which could present a fantastic buying opportunity for the long run. If it does drop, I don't particularly know if it will, but it'll really depend on their guidance as well. We'll see how it ends up, but I think it'll be okay. I don't think it'll be as bad as some people are anticipating. And regardless, in the long run, Facebook's going to be a great pick. So if they do drop, it won't be the worst thing in the world. It'll be a good time to pick up some Facebook shares. AMD is another huge one. That'll be interesting to see how they do. As a company, I don't believe they are necessarily growing, so I don't think AMD is going to be great in terms of their earnings. I think it'll be a completely average earnings report. Visa, another huge company. AT&T, one that very much excites me as well as eBay. They've been very much on the rise as of late. eBay is definitely a great company. I mean, personally, I haven't used eBay in forever, and it shocks me that it's actually a growing company. It was weird finding that out, because to me, I typically would use companies' websites, buy, sell, and trade, like for local things. I don't typically go on eBay, but I understand eBay is definitely a good and growing company now. So that's something that's going to be interesting. See if they continue the growth they've been putting up. Onward to Thursday. First stock on there before open is AbbVie, which big biopharm, big pharmaceutical company. Definitely interesting to see how they do. They are in charge of Humira, one of the biggest drugs out there, so it'll be interesting to see if they have anything new coming up, which that they could, because they are very heavily weighted into that single drug, which is never good for a pharmaceutical company. But I'm sure they have some innovation coming up, and hopefully this is a good earnings report. I don't believe it'll be exceptional. I think it'll be completely average. They'll meet expectations both on revenue and EPS. But I'd like to be surprised on it, honestly. That'd be very, very interesting to see if it was higher than that. I won't complain, I'll tell you that. And here is where we get into the big boys. After close Thursday, another huge one. This is why I was saying this week was so important. We have both Google and Amazon reporting earnings in the same week. It's a fantastic week. Another thing that could have a huge impact on the market, because it's Amazon. I definitely think Amazon is going to beat their earnings yet again, due to that previous report saying they have somewhere near 10 million or 10 million Prime subscriptions. I mean, it's crazy how fast the company's still growing. It's not necessarily the most profitable business, but they are growing steadily, and it is fantastic for them. So it'll be good to see, because that'll help the overall market in terms of volatility, depending on how exactly their earnings turn out. I think it'll be positive. One of the most interesting ones for me is Microsoft there, Thursday after close. I love Microsoft as a company, as a stock, so I'd like to see. I think one of the most important parts to look at is going to be Microsoft Azure, their cloud platform. It'll be interesting to see if they continue that, because over the past, I believe it was at least 6 quarters, they've increased on that specific part around 100% on average, which is insane. So it'll be interesting to see exactly how that growth, if it continues. I believe it will, personally, so it'll be good to see that, as well as just their revenues in general. I think they will beat. I think Microsoft will have a good earnings, and if they don't, I'll be looking to pick up some more shares. So if they ever dip, definitely look into that. If they dip before earnings or after, definitely look into buying some more. I think that might be all that I have for you today. Naturally, we have Exxon, Dominion, and Phillips 66 rounding up on Friday for what could be interesting. That is as far as I have, as far as what I think is going to be interesting for this week. I'm sure everyone else has their own opinions on what they're carrying, what else they think might be interesting. That's all I got for you. So thank you for watching, and have a nice day. Bye.